So here's a little tip of the day. Do not limit yourself to only selling products online. I went into Goodwill today, which I was not even going to go into Goodwill, but something just told me go in, do a quick 5-minute walkthrough, and then get out if you don't find anything. So I went in, and the second that I saw this table, I knew it was gonna be worth something, and especially when I walked up to it and saw the price tag, it was $19.99, and there was 3 of them. So let me show you guys exactly what I found, because this literally blew my mind. I know nothing about tables and furniture stuff, but the tip of the day is don't limit yourself to only selling products online. If you find something like a piece of furniture, something that's not gonna be too much work to haul and set up a meet with, if it's worth your time and the profit, this can be a sweet flip. So like I said, I found 3 of these. These are called a swirl table, obviously with the swirl little pattern that they have on there, that brush that they did on top. This is solid aluminum. It's a really sturdy table. I actually have it sitting up on bed raisers right now because I'm getting ready to prep some product. But point being, this is the Southern Aluminum brand. Now, if you look this brand up, the tables are ranging between like $250 all the way up to $600, which just blew my mind. So when I was in Goodwill, I saw that $19.99 price tag. I was gonna buy them for myself. There's 3 of them. You guys can see we got our other 2 right there. And the second that I saw that price tag, $19.99, and I looked up the brand, there was 3 other guys hovering around the tables, checking them out too. I beelined it to the front of Goodwill, and I asked the cashier, I'm like, hey, I wanna get all 3 of those. She gave me a slip, and they were officially mine. So I'm gonna keep 2 of them. Again, I paid $60 for all 3, 20 bucks each. So my thought process is I'm gonna keep 2. I'm gonna flip 1. I just listed it locally on Facebook Marketplace and offer up for 120 bucks because this particular one I found was actually selling for 300. So I'm really excited to see if I can actually flip this for a minimum of 80 because not only am I getting 2 free tables out of it, I'm gonna profit 40 bucks on the deal. So keep an eye out for local stuff like this and always check brands. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys real quick what we do when we do our shoes. We hit Nike outlets for Amazon, and people always ask, how do you best prep shoes for Amazon, specifically when it comes to Nike? So here we go. Tip number 1, I only send actual manufacturer boxes to Nike. Technically, you can rebox these. That just means get a generic brown box. And for example, there's something on the back wall of Nike called the hash wall or the clearance section. What they do is they cut the lids off of the boxes. So what that means is technically you can go buy a pair of shoes from Nike that does not have the top of the box. You can take this pair of shoes and put them in a brown box and send them to Amazon. According to their TOS at the time of this video, that is totally fine. I do not recommend do that because it's going to be a much higher risk of a counterfeit claim, because if a customer, especially if they're a collector and they want to keep these boxes, those guys are going to be really picky. So you do not want to be sending in brown boxes. That's just my personal opinion. Some people do it, they love it, and they haven't had any issues. I stay away from it. First thing I do, I organize my piles. So I have a secondary table back here as well. So I organize by row which styles that we did get. So this was a solo one right here. This was the only pair that they had in there of that one. First is quality check. I just open up real quick. Make sure there are no scuffs because sometimes these are worn in the store and you'll see some scuffs around the sides. So if they look good, the tissue paper is intact, it's not going to be completely ripped apart. If it is, I have backup tissue paper that I can rewrap these with. So that is my quality check right there. The nice part with Nike is they check the sizes. So they're making sure that both pairs of shoes in there are the same size. So you don't have to double check that. You can if you want to do the extra step. I just do a quick quality check. If those are good to go, I get these rubber bands off of Uline. You get them in a giant pack. So always have these. And this is to prevent the lid from opening up. So rubber band over the top. It does not need to be perfect. And that is exactly how we send them in. I'll show you how I print off my label. First thing I'm gonna do, I use a wireless barcode scanner so I don't have to manually type anything into Inventory Lab is what I use. Scan the barcode on that. All right, so I'm not going super fancy with a nice screen share, but you guys can see this is my camera pointed at what I'm looking at. Inventory Lab. Obviously battery information, this does not contain a battery. It is 1 pair. My buy cost here was $42. I got this from Nike as my supplier. My purchase date, I don't necessarily go by purchase date, I just put in whatever day the shipment is being done, which today is the 23rd. get this last final push out before I take a couple days off for Christmas. Scroll down, this is new condition, no condition notes needed. I'm gonna match the buy box at $84, which would leave me a $21.50 profit. 50% ROI, which I am good with. Even if I need to drop this down a little bit, which knowing shoes, I am gonna have to drop the price down. After any big Nike sale, or any sale in general in any major retailer, you're gonna see a ton of people come on this listing. So 50%, I'm personally okay with going as low as 20% if it's gonna be a quick flip, which based on a 1,000 rank is definitely a great rank inside of shoes. So if I need to drop this down, I'm still gonna make some money on it. Add to batch. I showed you guys the other night how I have that whole setup right here on my computer. This is why I have it set up this way, because my Dymo 450 prints off the SKU just like that. I go put this on the box. Label is gonna go over the existing barcode, so Amazon employees don't scan the actual barcode, they just do this right here, and that one's good to go. All right, so now I just go through, repeat that exact process, go down all my rows here in my shoes. I loaded up on some backpacks right here, and I got these ones right here as well. And you can see specifically on the black box stuff, I would never brown box those because collectors oftentimes will keep those boxes. So you wanna make sure that one, you keep them in the original box, and two, you're trying to get the best shaped boxes that you can. So that's just my little 2 cents on the Nike game. But aside from that, I'm gonna finish up the shipment and clock out, and I'm gonna take 2 days off, Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I'll be back in action on December 26th as usual.